So this is the gearbox that's gonna roll up the pipe. This piece here is gonna go into the roll-up side, and we'll bolt it through. First, we have to assemble this piece into the box using this bolt. So now we'll mark where this hole is gonna go. No, I'll just leave it. This guide pipe is gonna hold the roll-up gearbox as it moves up and down. So we set it back from the house, and we're going to attach this length of chain through the hole in the guide post. We'll be able to slip on and off this eye bolt that's going to go through the house. So I want to make sure we're lined up on position, and now I'm going to mark the house where I need to drill through for that eye bolt. Put a bolt on the outside of the house to limit how far in we put the eye bolt, and that makes that adjustable. We put a washer on the outside, put the washer on the inside, followed by the nut, and we'll tighten that with a wrench. On our guide pipe now, and we'll tighten this with a wrench. This chain can hang over there, and now we can use this guide pipe to guide up the gearbox. So when we're all in position, we're gonna go ahead, bend down, and grab that pipe, lift it up evenly, and rest it on those eye bolts with the poly behind it. Now I need to shove the whole pole downward so that we line up our gearbox, and we're gonna have to trim the poly to allow for that gearbox to come up. We'll do that in a minute. Grab the poly and lift it up, and let the weight of that pipe pull the poly snug. But yet we need to keep the poly resting evenly on those eye bolts. Don't lift it up off the eye bolts. Okay, so once that's sitting on all those eye bolts, now we'll work in teams. We have 2 drivers. We'll get 2 people on a team and put this bar cap on. Wait till the team in front of you has theirs at least set so you know how far to go. So now we need to cut the end of this poly free so that it doesn't wrap up into the gearbox. And we've got this channel underneath, so in the winter time, we're gonna secure it here. So we need to make sure it's not being cut behind that channel. Right? I'm gonna leave as much as we can, but keep that gearbox free. And eventually we'll trim the whole end up and over, but for now we just need to clear it to the hip board. When they're finished, we're going to rotate this a little bit, set the guide bar inside the rollers. All the way up and over the house, we've got this little bit of extra coming over, and we're going to trim that back about a hand's width. So you see, if for some reason in the future we need to tighten the poly, we'll have enough that we can grab to, if we undo the wire lock and redo it or something. So we don't want to cut it too close to the wire lock. So we're going to go about a hand's width. You can use a razor blade for that, or a pair of scissors in opposition. I'm simply gonna maintain that nice, even, neat edge the whole way up and over. And then up on our ladder and trim both ends like that. So now that we've got the roll-up side secured with the bar cap, we're gonna have to come back and trim this. But I just wanna do a preliminary quick roll first to make sure that it's going up nice and straight. So I'm gonna roll this actually backwards just to start, just to make sure we're attached well. And that looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna bring it back down, and I'm gonna actually unroll it all the way, because if we roll this side up this way, the water and the rain coming off pools in here and it starts to stretch and weigh that down and we get algal growth. So I actually want to roll it the other way so that the water will sheet right off. So we're going to lower it down now that we know that we're nice and straight. And we're going to go all the way to the bottom and we're going to let the poly hold the weight of the bar. It's going to come right off those hooks. And our helpers down there are keeping it off the hooks. When we're operating it during the growing season, we won't have to go that far. All right, great. So now we're gonna roll it back out so we can trim that excess off. You know what, I've got a little bit extra here interfering with the gearbox. I'm gonna trim that while we're standing here with scissors. Just the tiniest bit. Remember, we don't wanna come up short on that sidewall. We're gonna cut it evenly, flush here. And you can do this with a knife, you can do this with a seatbelt cutter or a pair of scissors. And we'll run that the entire length and trim off that bottom portion. We can imagine on a windy day, of course, the wind can really get under this and move it around. And these eye bolts are to hold the bottom end of some rope, which will prevent that billowing out. The other component to that, and again, different manufacturers have different systems, but we actually have just these little clips here that are going to fit right into the channel. So typically we'll put these in the lower channel, and those just snap right into that lower section of wire lock. Remember, in the middle of the house, we put these eye bolts just past every other bow. And now in the middle of the house, we're going to put the rope clips again after every other bow. So the rope is going to move from eye bolt to clip, down to the next eye bolt, up to the clip. This is a particularly windy location, and so the farmer has requested that on the end, we're going to start our rope at this eye bolt, come up to this clip, down to this eye bolt, and then back over to create an X pattern on the windy side of the house. So this is the anti-billow rope that comes with this greenhouse kit. And we just put it on a little spindle here to help prevent it from getting tangled. And we're actually going to start at this one. I'm going to come through here, spinning freely back there. Now we have this nice vertical piece to stop where the wind really is going to be attacking that roll-up side. We'll bring this up and over, and that's going to go up there. And now we're going to run it through the eye bolts. We can have plenty of slack, and then we're going to lift it up starting on this end and hooking it in tight and tightening it as we go. So we'll tie this off here. When we did it on the greenhouse, we saw I tied a figure-8 knot and set that figure-8 knot. Now I feed it through the eye. Make sure I have enough tail here, and I'm actually going to retrace this figure-8 knot. That's why we call it a retraced figure-8. So now I'm going to come back, and everywhere where this line goes, this is going to go. So we come up through here. And then I come out and under here, so I'm going to come out and under here. And now the line goes down through here. So I put the line down through here, and I just follow that first knot. Everywhere where it goes, I'm going to go. And I lay that out nice and flat and pull it snug. And that's my retraced figure-8. And I do that just at the very beginning of that run. And we're going to run out of rope, but that's okay. We've got another spool. So I'm going to tie this off here temporarily. So I'm going to take the end of the one that's already on and the end of the one that I'm trying to attach. Wrap this around my thumb. Make an X, and I'm going to slide this
right through there. So now I've made a little knot there. And this is the piece that's attached to the house. And this is the piece that's attached to the roll. Now I'm going to take the piece on the house and do the same thing on the other side. So now I have two of those little knots there, and I'll snug them both down. I've tied a knot around each line with the opposite line, and I'll pull those together.
So this is the knot that we did at the end of the greenhouse, and it allows us to cinch it down a little bit. So we want to make sure we have plenty of line to work with, and we're just simply going to put a bend or a bite in the line here and just do a simple overhand knot. Lay that flat, and that knot's going to sit up here. Now I come through the eyelet, and this is coming down tight off of the house, and you see I can cinch that down thusly. Okay, and I pull that tight, and that allows me to get a good tightening on that rope. And then when I'm finished tightening it as tight as I want to go, I'm going to simply put one half hitch through there, and then I'm going to close off that half hitch with another one. And then that'll be snugged down on that trucker's hitch. And when we're finished and the rope's all secured, we go back and use a self-drilling screw to attach each of the rope clips. So I want to thank you for watching these videos on construction of greenhouses and high tunnels by UNH Cooperative Extension. We want to thank Rimmel Greenhouse Systems for all their help. We want to thank Drum Production Company for their expertise. Remember, whatever state you're in, reach out to your cooperative extension for help with farming-related questions, greenhouse direct technical assistance, etc. We want to thank the Bakey Farm Initiative for allowing the filming of this series. We want to thank Rosalie's Farm Stand for allowing us to use her house to film the end wall. Wish you best of success with your farming ventures, and thanks again for watching.